Hey guys, welcome back. Captain Russia here, and I want to make a quick video on one of the battle mounts in Albion. This is the Beetle, the battle mount, and this is a really actually awesome battle mount. I like it a lot. It's a very tanky mount, and it can be used in a lot of different ways. ZvZ, territory defense for the watchtowers, mage raid defense, hideout defense, which is coming up in Queen, and it's really great for castles, whether you're attacking or defending. Um, Now you can use different, setups of gear. I usually bring something that's really tanky and lets me get away, because your armor stacks with the mount you're riding. So the resistance from my plate armor stacks with the resistance, on the Beetle, and the Beetle has very high hit points and pretty high, one of the highest resistances of all the mounts. Um, Quick item overview. Again, you can bring whatever you want for the tank setup. I like knight helmet, knight armor, and demon boots. But for the items, I bring pork omelet because the cooldown reduction actually improves the cooldown on my beetle skills here, on my beetle spells. And I bring again a giga potion just in case I get dismounted, but you kind of want to avoid that. Uh, so what are some of the skills that the Beetle has? So first of all, Beetle is not, some people might think like it's an overpowered mount or whatever. It can't really kill anything on its own, so that's where the balance comes from. However, it's a really good support slash tank, build. So the Q, I can't really use it unless I find like a rabbit or something. It basically debuffs your enemy's resistance to CC, and it buffs your entire party defense by 13%, which is great. The W is a really important spell because it has a really long range, about 20 meters. So that's almost like the edge of the screen. And what it does is when it lands, it interrupts all the enemies, and then the trail that it leaves behind basically buffs all your allies to travel fast. And then the E is basically like an AoE silence, kind of like the mace has it. So this is how it looks. And it has a pretty wide, range, as you can see. I think the range is, 10 meters. So one of the combos you can do is you can do like a WE combo and basically, silence the whole group and buff your party, for catching up during engages, in ZvZ. So it's really useful. And then the travel option F is, basically a speed buff, where you can't, you get silenced once you come out of it. But it's a pretty cool. It makes you immune to CC, so it's really good for traveling. Makes the Beetle, a really good option for traveling. Pretty tanky, even with the resistance reduction. Still, it's pretty good. So I'll be showing you guys some footage of some ZvZ fights, and some castle footage. I did have a little bit of Terry defense, but I didn't save it for some reason. I think my footage got bugged out, but hopefully in the future I'll be able to show you some. So quickly, let me just show you again one more time how you would do like an engage with the W and E combo. So basically you would do a W and then an E. But you'll see in the footage that I'll be showing you guys, I'll be doing a lot of Q and W spam. So without further ado, let me show you that to you guys. Alright guys, we're going to start off with something a little bit simpler. This is Anglia PvP. This is before the whole Queen map update came. As you can see, we got some big claps here. Again, this is just me kind of starting out, playing out as the Beetle. Mostly trying to silence enemy forces, enemy ballistas. This is a little bit, disorganized, but again, this is Anglia, so this is like smaller scale, 1 or 2 party size. Different alliances fighting, pushing across chokes like we did there. Chasing down stragglers. Again, the Beetle excels at, any kind of size of the fight, of the battle, but I'm, again here kind of just chasing some stragglers. But you'll see as I show you guys more clips, the size and the danger will kind of escalate.
Let them run.
Alright, so here's another clip. Again, this is still in Anglia, you know, kind of another sort of big clap. I'm jumping right in the middle, trying to silence and stun as many people as I can. Right there. Again, that silence pretty much helps our team, our alliance, secure the win.
Push southeast, push southeast, push southeast. On the crown, southeast on the crown, on the road, on the road, on the road, on the road.
And then again, just the chasing continues, you know, just catching some stragglers. Again, this is nothing crazy, you know, we're looking at like T1, T2, maximum T3 size blobs. I think this was during the Avalonian invasion season, so like December, January date when you could conquer the terries. They were resetting like every week. We got a couple of allied beetles running around with us. Again, just kind of chasing stragglers. Nothing that exciting yet, except for a couple claps we got earlier. But again, this is just this is what a starting out beetle pilot, you know, would probably, you know, get themselves into. I don't expect you to go into deep versus like a 300-man blob. You know, you're going to be starting out in smaller areas, smaller zones, maybe not as dangerous, just you know, getting your feet wet. Maybe some, you know, outnumbered fights at first, just so you get the feel for it. I know a lot of people I'd spoken to, they're kind of afraid of using Battlemounts because it's a pretty expensive mount, so they're afraid of losing it. So again, if you fight in a smaller scale fights, again there we can see like a big engage on just a couple of people, but you know, that's kind of how you get your feet wet, right? You got to be comfortable with how much damage you can take, what's the speed, what's your cooldowns, how you can help chasing, you know, how you can, you know, take the hit for your team and stuff like that. So it's good to start out slow first. So don't be surprised, guys, that I'm not showing you again like a big castle fight or something. That's coming up, by the way. A couple more clips. I'll show you a huge castle fight, and I'll show one defensive fight where we were outnumbered and, you know, the whole team wiped, and I was kind of helping out as a beetle just to help. So this is actually the fight I was talking about. We're trying to capture a Terry here. We're fighting a much bigger outnumbered force. We basically have our boss team on the Terry. As you can see, there's mostly reds on the screen here. I'm trying to run in and basically, you know, tank as much damage as I can, silence people, just disrupt them. Again, the goal here for us was to play the waiting game until we can capture the Terry in Thorndale. So we're kind of just disrupting him, you know. Trying to win as much time as we can. And there's different, you know, ZvZ shot callers. So again, this is Anglia. This is kind of a entry level, not your like high tier ZvZ stuff. So, you know, don't be surprised that you're not seeing like super organized. This was a good clump actually, but we didn't get any kills. They got a huge clump in our back line right now. A lot of our people are kind of wiping over there. I try to jump in to save as many as I can. Again, mostly reds on the screen. I'm just trying to, you know, help our team basically slow and silence as many people as I can right there, taking all the damage while my party is retreating. Again, the beetle is excellent for that. You know, don't be afraid. Obviously, evaluate the situation, but don't be afraid to use the beetle defensively to help out your team, to help out your allies. You can take a lot of beating. Again, we're continuing to retreat. At this point, I think the call was made that, you know, we're almost done capturing the Terry, so we need to retreat and kind of save as many people as we can. So that's kind of what we're doing. Maybe one last engage here. Note how all my skills are pretty much constantly on cooldown. You know, I'm trying to spam, especially the W and the E. Ooh, that was a big wipe on our team. So yeah, I'm trying to basically, you know, always spam the skills, just like with any weapon. All right, and I think the call was made for us to get out. We did end up capturing the Terry in that fight. Okay, this is a little bit bigger. I think this is like a T2 blob versus T2 blob. Again, you can see me doing the silencing everybody. Once my W is up, I'm probably going to use that. Yep, in the wrong direction, but still.
Can I get a re-invite to group when possible?
Again, this is your classic what Anglia used to be, right? Entry level ZvZ. Everybody's kind of running all over the place. We got a big clump over here. Meteor just came down. Again, there's a lot of people running around from the northeast, sort of. I'm trying to stay on top of the tank. That's another good thing on the Beetle. Just to mention here while we watch this fight. You learn a lot about how the flow of the ZvZ goes, as you know, and you can do it as anybody, as long as you can wear some plate armor. You don't have to have 400, specs and ZvZ gear or whatever. And this is what I really liked about piloting the Beetle, is that it let me stay in the front lines next to the shot caller, kind of observe it, learn all the mistakes that we make, learn the mistakes that the enemy makes. It was really, a really good learning process. And I think I've learned a lot about ZvZs in the past, month that, I've been piloting the Beetle since end of the season before Queen landed, and in Queen as well. Okay, so here's another fight again. This was for the Terry. I think here we're kind of we're fighting We Craft Guild, and I think we finally got him sort of like cornered. So again, this is just chasing down the stragglers and kind of wiping them out. They kept backshotting us during this reset. Again, this was right before Queen, when resets were like every weekend. So here you can see we're just clapping. They kind of got stuck in a corner, so we're attacking everybody we can. I think that's their guild leader or one of their officers right there.
Northwest, towards the gate, northwest.
Yeah, Meteor came down. Everybody's silenced. Again, we're just cleaning up the area. Umber Pool. This is where Fjord, the guild that I'm in right now, we used to base out of before Queen update.
Alright, they should be full wiped. If you've got reds on...
They're running.
All right, and this is, I think, the last weekend before Queen. So again, we're doing, this is a bigger fight, bigger blob. Everybody's just like fighting. Big clump right there. Again, silencing. Meteors came down.
They're just fucking running. Half of them are super low, like fucking dead slow.
We got a mammoth, so this is a bigger scale. We have more combat mounts here. There's a lot going on. The enemy is retreating towards southwest exit, so the call was made, go southwest and catch any stragglers. So we're kind of just trying to clean up. Fighting Era 404 here. The eagle is also just used the enemy eagle used their spell, that lightning cloud. Again, there's a huge clump right here. I'm trying to silence like as many as I can. Basically, you always want to jump in, either before they engage. What I've done before is whenever a shot caller calls like 3, 2, 1 engage, I'd actually jump 3 seconds before, because that lets me, kind of set myself up with the W and then the silence and the E. And then here again, you're going to see a huge clump. Huge clump is happening right here. A lot of people are going to wipe. Fortunately, my skills were all on cooldown, but they managed to pretty much wipe everybody, without me. And again, we're just catching up stragglers at this point.
Keep going southeast. Keep going southeast.
Yeah.
All right, now here's going to be a fun one. So this is a castle, and this is what I mentioned. Beetles are great for castles as well. This is a huge. There's a huge. You can see me actually taking a lot of risk. I'm going in like all reds are on here, just trying to silence and disrupt them kind of. At this point, I started playing my beetle a little bit more offensively. The enemy also has a beetle, so this was fairly evenly matched fight. Again, I'm going to try to go in on their western flank just to draw some attention, just to eat all of their spells. They're all casting their stuff, jumping on me. So this is great for my, teammates, because, they're not taking all the damage I am. And again, here we're on the other side. We're positioned to the east side of the castle. And so here I'm cross-jumping. I'm cross-jumping the enemy beetle, right, because their damage is all behind the beetle when they engage. And I try to silence them. So we're going for a big engage. A lot of happening here. I think there was a small call to retreat a little bit. We're trying to kind of reposition, retreat back. Right now we're going in, so I jump on all of their damage. You can see all those Colossies and I try and silence them. So none of the enemy damage made it to our team. So that's one of the ways to use the Beetle, you know, offensively when you're trying to prevent enemy damage from, you know, being able to cast anything. And we're going to continue pushing up the stairs in a second. You'll see here the call is going to be made to go and push up the stairs. I think the enemy started to attack the castle lord, so we're trying to kind of you know, hurry up and clear it out before they get the castle. Yep, alright, looks like so we're all going in. Again, I'm jumping in with a W, huge knockout for everybody and a big silence. And a second Beetle follows up. This was a really good combo. And at this point we're just, I mean, it's huge clumps. We're just, you know, we're just cleaning up the castle lord room basically here. So again, I'm trying to stay up front, all in the red, you know, all in the enemy side, taking all the damage and silencing as much as I can using my Q, buffing the defenses of my allies and you know, debuffing the enemy. Again, huge clump here. They're trying to get out through the castle door. Again, I'm silencing everybody who's trying to get out. Another clump coming in. All my skills are on cooldown, but again, we're just, you know, we're pushing them out at this point, and I think we pretty much wiped out their force. So this was a good sample of, you know, using a Beetle in a castle environment, you know, defensively and offensively. You know, this one we're kind of doing it offensively. This is an interesting one, actually. So I haven't seen, this is Desecrated Sands, but basically, you know, we haven't seen this old, like, open area dungeons, you know, world boss locations used. And we actually saw somebody doing them, and there was a Zerg inside, so we were kind of roaming, and we went in, and we kind of wiped them out. Nothing too exciting in the first couple of minutes. We're just kind of, you know, they panicked. It's Ego Alliance. They're running out, and we're pretty much just cleaning everything up. They probably didn't expect Battlemounts to come in here because, again, this is usually like a PvE turned into somewhat PvP locations, but not, you know, not Battlemount scale, but meta is changing, of course. So yeah, we're just, you know, we just cleaned them out. But what's going to happen next is going to be interesting. There's going to be another blob that's going to come in that sees us fighting Ego, and they're going to try to sandwich us inside here, and you'll see what happens in a second. So here's the other blob. You can see it in the southeast. But there's a lot of like chokes and a lot of like bridge type of areas, so it makes it very interesting for fighting and positioning, and you know, your shot caller has to make the right calls. So here they're gonna try to engage on us right at the entrance to Desecrated Sands. And again, we have two Beetles and an Eagle. I don't think they expected that. They didn't come with Battlemounts. I think they just wanted to come and like dive somebody doing the boss and, you know, collect free loot basically, but that's not what they're gonna get here. So yeah, again, we're kind of fighting them. I'm trying to take as much damage in the front line. I'm trying to see like if I can position myself for a clump. Right here, a meteor comes down. My skill's on cooldown. I'm gonna go and cross jump right there, knock them up, cancel their spells, throw a silence, so that we're able to pretty much. They're full running. Kill them, yeah, and they're running now. You could hear me scream in the comms that they're full running, so we're just, you know, mopping up and cleaning up the rest of the area at this point. And again, Beetles are good for chasing because you're traveling faster than an unmounted player, so you can always catch up to players, and you can always, you know, stun them, kind of with that knock-up jump, short stun, more like a knock-up, and you can silence, which, you know, prevents them from casting stuff. Well, that will be it for today, guys. I hope you'll like and subscribe to support the channel. Let me know if you have any other, you know, feedback or comments regarding this video, regarding this specific battle mount. If you want to see maybe a preview of a different battle mount in the future, I'd be more than happy to do it. I'm thinking about maybe doing an Eagle next. So yeah, that will be it. Thank you guys. Captain Russia out.